Akko here again. Welcome back to Feed the Beast Unleashed. This is another supplemental video. This is supplemental on bees. So if you don't like bees in Feed the Beast, then you don't need to watch this video. If you're interested in Feed the Beast but hate bees, just skip this one, because all this will have in it is bees. That's why I'm doing them separate. So the Foundcraft and the bees, some people like, some people don't. So what I'm doing is, rather than put them in the main series, I'm doing them as separate episodes. So people who are interested can watch, and people who are not can skip, and they won't miss anything else. So this is going to be a bee episode, and we've not done anything with bees yet in this world. So what we need to do is get our first bee machines made. Now there's two ways of doing this. I made some items here. I made the three machines you're going to need to start with. These are all from forestry. We've got the centrifuge, the carpenter, and the squeezer. They all made pretty much the same way. Let's just look at the recipe there. You need this thing, a sturdy casing, which is 8 bronze in a square, gets you a sturdy casing, and then 2 bits of glass and either tin, copper or bronze on the outside will give these three machines. So the squeezer uses tin, the carpenter I believe uses bronze. Let's have a look. Yeah, the carpenter uses bronze, and that means that the centrifuge uses copper. To make bronze, all you need to do in this version is 3 copper, 1 tin, in a crafting square, 3 copper, 1 tin, gets you 4 bronze. That's how we make bronze. So that gets us our first machines here. These of course all need buildcraft power. The first thing we're going to make is an apiary. Now previously you'd need to make a squeezer to get some honeycomb, to make some seeds, to squeeze seeds to get seed oil. So one thing a squeezer can do is put the squeezer down. In fact, let's just do this. Let's put that down there. Let's get a few seeds, just a couple. I'm not going to keep the nail long. If you put any kind of seed in a squeezer and give it power, so this is connected to my power supply there, you'll see that you get seed oil in there. There's a tiny amount of seed oil, don't get you much at all. The other thing you can do in a recent upgrade now also lets you use creosote. So what I've been doing is I've been collecting a bit of creosote, because we are doing other stuff as well that needs steel, and to make steel use this guy, blast furnace. And blast furnace we make steel, but to make steel we make coal coke in a coke oven, and a side effect of creating coal coke from coal is creosote oil. So as you can see there, I have got quite a lot of creosote oil. I'll be making it into these barrels, some in there as well. So let's grab all this creosote oil, jump back over here, and what we can do with this, now I've got loads of this actually, I've got quite a bit, I've been making a bit. I've got a bucket from a chest, I've got some creosote bottles from dungeon chests, I've got 18 of these barrels. Barrels are quite easy to make. If you was interested in making a barrel, I'll show you really quickly. To store your liquids are quite useful. They use these things, iron rings, and then just wood and glass. Iron rings are just iron ingots with one of these blacksmithing hammers, and a blacksmithing hammer is just like making a pick with an ink sac on the top. Easy. Easy, easy, easy. That's how I make the barrels, if you was curious. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our carpenter. That's the first machine we want. And I'm going to plunk that there. Now, to make an apiary, we'd put creosote oil or seed oil in there. Not going to do that just yet. First of all, I'm going to make something that also uses a carpenter, uses water. So rather than make a separate carpenter early, I'm just going to make this first. So I can get water. I could have got it from a bucket, to be honest, but I've got a water source, so I'm just going to click on that, and what I'll do, I'll fill this side up with water. And what I'm going to make is a thing called a Biolizer. Now the Biolizer uses, if I can remember off the top of my head, 4 glass panels, a diamond, some redstone. Is it gold? I'm going to have to check NEI because I cannot remember. Oops, maybe 2 redstone if it is redstone. Let's have a quick check on here. Biolizer. It is tin. Excellent. So 4 tin. And the way a carpenter works is you make a pattern up in here by left clicking with your item, and then you put your materials that you want to use in this hopper area here. So we're not actually using any materials in the top there. You can click them wherever you want, and a right click gets rid of them, like so. So you make the pattern in here, and as long as it's got the right liquid in here for the pattern will show there. If there was no water in here, that wouldn't show, because part of this requires water. You can look at the recipes somewhere, don't know where though. Of course you can look at NEI for the recipes, but that's making us a biolizer, which we will need, but we cannot use yet, because to actually use a biolizer we need honey, and we don't have any honey yet. I just wanted to make that with a carpenter before we dedicate the carpenter to, there we go, to making our first apiaries. So forgive me if I mix up apiary and alveary, it's quite easy to mix up. Apiaries are the little ones, alvearies are the bigger ones we'll make later on. So what I'm going to do is break that. So if I do say alveary in this episode, I don't mean alveary, I mean apiary. I'll put that back. So that's got the water out there. Now what we can do is we can throw a creosote in there. So I'm just going to use up this creosote I've got from chests. And to make a apiary, we need some wood. Now Sakura wood should work. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of them in a square. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw 64, which is enough to make us 8 of these. We'll see how much creosote that uses. So we've got, it's like 10 buckets worth in there, and also about half a bucket to make an impregnated casing. So I'm going to make 10 of these. I don't normally make that many. No, I'm not going to make 10. I'm lying. I'm going to make 8. We'll make 8 of these. We could also, while that's waiting, we could also find an NPC village. So if we look over here, there's one I've conveniently placed. Not placed. There's one that's conveniently close by. We've got an NPC village here. If you look around an NPC village, you will sometimes find a zombie attacking a villager. I'll save your villager. You'll sometimes find this building. This is an apiarist building. That actually was the apiarist. That guy there was getting attacked. What you can do is, for emeralds and a princess, you can give a monastic drone, which is a special bee you can only get from a villager. Well, what you'll also find in his place is a couple of apiaries in his back garden. So we could take a couple of these apiaries from there. There's actually common bees in there, which is quite interesting. And there's a marshy queen in there, but I'm going to leave them in this case. But look for that building. It's got a bit of, normally a bit of forestry wood. So you see it's got baobab and ebony. So that's normally how you can tell it. It's got a bit of forestry wood, so a bit of non-vanilla wood made in the building somewhere. And it'll have a couple of apiaries in the back garden, but we don't need that because we're just going to make our apiaries from scratch. So let's get back across to my house, and we should have some impregnated casings. And nothing's loading in because I'm moving too quick, so it's going to take a little while for things to load in. So what we've got in here now then, we've got 8 impregnated casings, wonderful. I'm going to take them out. I'm going to make 8 apiaries to get us started. I've got a little loot bag off that guy. What we got in there? Steel boots, sweet, bucket of force. Right, I want to save that for my normal episode later, because I want to show what to do with them steel boots on camera. So there we go. Oops, 8 of them. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to get rid of that pattern. 8 of them will do us. Eventually we will make alvearies using these, but that's quite a way down the line. Each alveary needs 27 of these casings, so we will be coming back to this pattern. But for now we can get rid of that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just make it down to 2 logs. What that does, it makes us these. These are impregnated sticks that we use for making frames. So let's get some more wood. There we go, a bit of wood there. And basically I'm going to use up all this creosote making impregnated frames. We can grab a load more wood from over here. Just jump down here, grab a bit more wood from a DSU. So here's where my wood is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 will do. Stelio stuck in a hole there. What are you doing, Stelio? So, get back up here. and we can sling all that wood in there. And these don't stack, so what we're going to have to do is work out a way of putting these into storage. And the way I'll do that is, the easiest way of doing that is to use one of these guys called Deep Storage Unit from Manufacturer Reloaded. Uses it untuned tesseract, some chests and some plastic. What we can do with that is, off camera at some point, I'll wire it up so that things getting made in there just get pumped into there. That's the easiest way of doing things. Now I ain't got an auto kit gate, so I can't do that just yet. But I'll just pump these things out of there into that. In fact, let me just. We need two of them, I think. One of them. One of these. These autarkic gates very useful for bee breeding, so it's worth knowing about. And I'm just going to throw them in there for later so I don't forget. What we're going to make is two of them, one of them, and I'm making some of them as well. So that's for later on. I'll make it this so these are automated. There we go. That's making impregnated sticks, and we can use them a bit later. What we need to do now is these impregnated casings. You want to surround them with wood around the bottom, wood planks, and then slabs across the top. Does that matter if they're mixed? No, it doesn't matter if it's mixed. That's good. 7, 8, 6, 7, 8. Oops. 6, 7, 8. 6, 7, 8. There we go. There's our apiaries. So we'll make 8 of them. And these are going to want to be outside. I'm going to sleep just for a second. Josh is sat in the bed with me. And what else are we going to need? Let's make. Right, I'm going to want some string. So these sticks I am going to put around these bits of string. That's going to make us impregnated frames. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then what we're going to do is we're going to combine some of these with soul sand. I'll combine 4 of these with soul sand. 3, 4 for now. What that'll do, that'll turn these into soul frames. 2, 3, 4. And what else we're going to use? We're going to use these things that come from dungeon chests. So you might not be able to get these. If you haven't found any of these, then just use 3 soul frames. But what these will do is these will kill the bees in one tick in our breeding apiaries. So you get a bit less. These get a 50% breeding chance. So I guess the next thing to look at is what we're going to do is we're going to breed a forest with a meadows. In fact, we're not quite ready to do that yet. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to let some of these run in an apiary for a while. With impregnated frames. No, I'm not with impregnated frames. With oblivion frames. I'm going to burn through 2 of these. What we'll get is that'll get a few extra drones of each of these. So let's find a place to put our bees. I can go over here. I'm going to make a place for this at some point, but for now we can just. This is well within my chunk loaded area, so I can just 3, 4. I'm going to sort this water out in a bit because it gets on my nerves. I actually want to be a bit further away than that. 1, 2. In fact, let's actually do it the old school way. Let's have a row of 8. And I can show you how I used to do this. So there we go, a row of 8 apiaries. And what we're going to do is, the first one, we're going to have a couple of forest. The second one, we're going to have a couple of meadows. And I'll put oblivion frame in each. So each time a bee ticks, it ticks every 27.5 seconds. And the bee will lose some life. Now, with these oblivion frames, when it ticks, the bee's actually going to die. Because the oblivion frame makes it so that you get a full tick. You get a full life, I mean, within 1 tick. So 27.5 seconds is the maximum we have to wait. It looks like we're going to have to wait pretty much. We've got no flowers nearby. I needed flowers nearby. There we go, I've got a flower. My bad, did not place a flower. Is that close enough? Let's put it there just in case. So now there's flowers. So it's going to wait for another tick to detect a flower, and then it's going to tick again, and we should see the bee die. So let's just wait around for a second. So come on, recognise flowers. That must count as a flower. There we go. So it recognised it and it did the tick in one go. So that's killed that, and now we've got a couple of extra drones. So we can use this to get us more drones, which we are going to need. Now you'll see that the forest bee here has 3 kids, so it uses 1 to create the next queen. The meadows has 2 kids, so it uses 1. So we're actually going to get forest drones quicker than meadows. So what I should actually do is I should start maybe by automating this stuff. So I'm going to make some tubes, and I'm going to get this automated. So we'll do that as a first episode. We'll automate some bees. What we're going to need is, each of these are going to need a wooden transport pipe. So we're going to need 8 of them. So let's start fresh, because I ain't got 8 there. Let's get 2 bits of wood, and here's some glass. That gets us 8 wooden transport pipes. Then we're going to want 8 gold pipes, which we've got. And then because we've got the apiaries next to each other, we don't actually need them at all. We don't need them at all. Put the gold ones back. Ignore me for the gold ones. Because they're next to each other, what we're going to do is we're going to make 8 stone pipes and 8 cobble pipes. So alarm going off outside my house. There's stone pipes and there's cobble pipes. Now the reason why I'm making these 2 different ones is they won't join to each other. So if you can put them down in the world, and if you put a stone next to a stone, it'll join. If you put a stone next to a cobble, it won't join. So what we can do, even though they're next to each other, we can make it so they won't touch each other. Right, I'm going to break camera while that alarm goes in just a minute. Just before we do that though, the other pipes we're going to need are iron pipes, like so. That gets us an iron pipe. Let's just drop that on the floor. Drop that on the floor. Iron transport pipes. Right. Oh, the alarm stopped. Okay, I just want to cut. So we've got the pipes we need. We've got wood, cobble, stone, and iron. That's all the pipes we're going to need. And what we do need to do though is we need to get these autarkic gates crafting. So for that we need this to be out of the way, really, is what we need. See if I can do this. Yeah, that'll do. A little bit cowboy here, bear with me. So these are the best gates to use, even end game. These are the best gates to use for your bee stuff. So you're going to want some of this setup. These are called lasers. That's called an assembly table. What they'll do is they'll use your power, and what it's doing is it's creating these out of the material it's got there. So the pulsating chipset uses 1 redstone, 1 ender pearl. You get 2 of them, and then 1 redstone, 1 iron gets you 2 of these iron chipsets. We only need 8 of these in total, so I might as well get enough materials for the 8. So 3. So I need 3 for that, and then we want another 7 and 7 iron. And that raw material can all go in there. So now we've got enough for 8 pulsating chipsets and 8 redstone iron chipsets. What we're making is autarkic gates. Autarkic gate there. You see it uses redstone iron chipsets, pulsating chipset, and I think called a gate. So what a gate needs is just redstone on its own. That needs going through twice. So I'll get these made first, and then I'll run them through. I'll run some. So we're going to want 8 more redstone. I'll run 8 redstone through twice to get gates, and then I'll be back when that's done, and we'll set up a little automated system over there. Back in a bit. Okay then, back for a second. I made some more lasers because it was going a bit slow, so I've got 8 lasers on there now. So if we're looking here, redstone chipset was just redstone, mix that, put that back in again, it gets you these things called gates. And I've made 10 pulsating, 10 redstone, and 10 of these gates. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw all them in there. And once you've got them 3 in there, it'll let you make these things autarkic gates. So I'm going to make 10 of them, 8 for the apiaries over there, 1 for the carpenter setup. Now the carpenter setup, the best way to do it is actually get it to feed the impregnated sticks out into some kind of auto crafting table. So I'm probably going to use a cyclic assembler from thermal expansion, and then get it to make the sticks straight into frames, and then feed them from the cyclic assembler into a deep storage unit for now. So I've just been doing this manually. I actually ain't going to get many more because I ain't got enough string yet, because my farms are automated. So I'm going to make an automated string farm, because that's the other thing you need for this. Whether you do that from, I'm going to try the cotton plants, see if they can automate them. I'm not sure if you can or not, but you could have a spider farm, for example, or however way you get string. There's ways of getting string. So you will need string for this. Each 8 stacks of sticks needs 1 stack of string. So all I had was 2 and a bit stacks of string, which I've used almost 2 stacks of now. So I'll be back when we have got, well, we've got 3 already. Look at that, that's alright, isn't it? Well, we've got 3 already, so let's do this. I'm going to sleep so it's daytime again, and then we can jump over there. So the way you want to set these up is, well, the way I like to set them up, should I say. There's no right way and wrong way, I guess, but I'll just kill my flower. Hopefully it'll spawn some more flowers around it, but me taking that flower, it probably just might have stopped them, but no, it seems to be okay. I can still see little bees coming out, so flower back in a hurry. There we go. These water things are quite irritating, and they do break really easy, as you can see here, so you can break them really easy and just put them back as grass again, but it's a little bit irritating. It's when it rains, apparently. Well, you'd think puddles would decay again when it's dry, but they don't seem to decay again once it's dry. They seem to be there forever once it's rained. So a bit unfortunate if you like grass. So what I'm going to do is down, how am I going to do this? I'm actually going to do this the other way around. What I'm going to do is, now if looking at it, the one thing that I was missing, that I've not got as yet, 1, 2, 3, how do I do this? Yeah, yes, that's right, that's correct, yeah. So I actually want this dug out as well. It's been a while since I've done it this way. The one thing that I've not made yet, which I'm going to make in just a second, there goes the flower again, is some diamond pipes, and the diamond pipes will be getting upgraded into apiarist pipe at some point. So what I'll do is, so I've got access to the gates, because at some point I might want to turn them off, I'm going to have my wooden pipes up on the back. So think of this as the back, and then on here we're going to have 8 of these guys. And you don't always want these on, so it's nice to be able to have them off and on, so you can turn them off if you need to. And then what we'll have is cobblestone on every other one. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and then stone on every other one. 1, 2, so they won't join, which is good. And then underneath, the ones that we haven't made yet, we need 2 diamonds, a bit of glass, and we need something called propolis, which we haven't got yet. But when we get propolis, we need 2 propolis to upgrade each of these, so we need 16 propolis. They're all going to go there. Underneath, what we're going to need is a couple of bees to sort this out. So let's now, as you can see, I took the soul frames out of there, because the oblivion frames. These are going to be our 2 breeding ones here, and these are going to be production bees. What we're going to do is, I'll need access to these, because I'm going to have to say which direction bees should go. But I actually need a princess and a drone to be able to do that, so which I ain't got on me at the minute. So the last thing we need here is iron transport pipes, and they go in front like so, An iron transport pipe is a one-way pipe, and you can change the direction of flow like so. Now the dark bit is the direction stuff's going to go. So anything coming out of these diamond pipes is going to go. Oh, we can't go that way yet. We need a chest there. Let's grab a chest. Anything coming out of them diamond pipes is going to end up in this chest that I'm going to place. We've got a chest in there, not in there. What about in there? I ain't got a chest. Scandalous. And we keep taking sticks out of there, spreading them around our sticks, or string, should I say, and putting them in there out of the way, like so. Oh shit! Didn't mean to do that. Just throw my sword in there. So I've got enough for another 2 rows of that, and these are all done. Yep. So 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and I've got a couple of spares there. We need a chest then, don't we? Let's make a chest. And you maybe want this to be quite a big chest, so I am going to upgrade it with first iron, then gold. Like so, iron, then gold, so it'll be a nice big chest. There we go. And now, jump back over there again. Our chest goes at the end. Now everything that comes out of these apiaries, because of the way we've set up these iron pipes, we'll send things into there once we've got the autarkic gates on, of course, because nothing will get pulled out of the apiaries unless these are turned on. So what we want is, there we go, they're finished now, so that's good. What we want is we need access to all these diamond pipes. So you see, red is where products going to go, and up is where bees want bees to go. See, white, and green we want nothing to go. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to put a bit of dirt in green, so nothing else goes down green. White, we're going to say princesses and drones can go down white, and then everything else should go down red. Should. These green and yellow both want blocking, so I'm going to block green and yellow. This we won't need to do as much as this once we've got the apiarist pipe, but while we're still setting this up, I want it to be a little bit secure, so I am going to do it like this. And as soon as we've got some propolis, I'll be changing these. Green and yellow, there and there, and so on and so on. I'll do the rest off camera, and then what we can do, we can put that back in there, and we can set this so that items in inventory is what we want. Missing drone, in fact missing nah, items in inventory, energy pulsar. So that's how we want to set all these up. Items in inventory, energy pulsar, so that's got something in inventory, so that had bees in it. So you should see the bees come back round. If I've done this correct. Come on bees, where are you? There we go, the bees went back into there, and if there was any products it would have got sent down there, but we're not actually making any product yet. I don't know why. I think it had made at least one honeycomb up to now, wouldn't you? So I'm going to cut camera, I'm going to finish this off, I'm going to bring some frames across, put some frames in here, because that will make some products, and make sure the product goes in there, and I'll be back in a bit. Hello, back again, and several hours has passed since you last saw me. I've actually been out for a few hours, and I've come back, and my bees here are going quite well. I put some impregnated frames back in, maybe about an hour and a half ago. I'm going to say, yeah, maybe about an hour and a half ago. And they're working their way down. I'm up to 42 forest drones, I'm up to 21 meadows drones, and if we look in the chest down here, it's all working correctly. We've got loads of honeycombs in there. Over a stack of honeycombs. Now of course if these bees get to over a stack, then the extra bees would go down that way as well. So now we can start doing a bit of breeding, which is the idea of course. Now these two gates are turned off because these are going to be my breeding apiaries at the end here. So what we want to do now then is, what I'm going to start with is, I've got some extra bees. I ain't got no more forest bees, but I have got a couple of extra meadows princesses. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to take 2 meadows princesses, and I'm going to combine them in the breeders with a couple of drones, forest drones, and try and get common bee. What we're after is a common bee. You can see there's a honeycomb going down there. Wonderful. So we've got meadows and forest. Meadows, forest. So what that should give us is, if we press U, does it work when doing an apiary? Let's have a look. Doesn't seem so. Okay. In fact, let's turn that on. Let's just go this way instead then. Common bee, where are you? Weird how some of the plugin stuff doesn't seem to show at first, but there we go. Common species, common drone, common princess. So if we click on that, I'll show you there. We've got a forest and meadows, gives us a 15% chance of getting a common, which is the breeding what we've gone for here. And what's that? Stark and air shard. Alright, interesting. We're not going to do any magic bees just yet, but yeah, common bee there. So there's quite a lot of bees that can get common, because basically all common is any two standard from the hive bees mixed will give you that chance of a common, and it seems to be all 15%. So at 15% is the base chance. Then of course on top of the base chance we've got these that give us an extra 50%. So at 15% plus 50 is 22.5. Then plus another 50 on that, it'd be 11.25, would it? So 33 3/4. So about 1 in 3 chance of getting common. Now we've got a common there. What we need to do now though is, it looks like we haven't there, to try and start working out exactly what we're doing here. So this is where the beehizer comes in, and of course for the beehizer we need some fuel for it, which is honey. So we need to get our second machine in action, which is the squeezer, centrifuge, sorry, not the squeezer. So if we grab our centrifuge, we can start centrifuging this honeycomb. And I've used up all the creosote oil that was in there, that's good. Let's put this here for now. Again, temporary. I'll wire all this up properly at some point. 64 honeycomb in there is going to start getting us beeswax and honey drops. So it's a base, I think it's 90% chance. Let's have a look. So press U on that. Honeycomb, show me what you do. There we go, 90% chance of honey, 100% chance of beeswax is what your basic honeycomb gives you. So we're getting honey drops. So I'll wait for the stack of them to fill up, and I'll be back when we've got a decent amount of honey drops for our beehizer. Okay then, here we are, turn all that into honey drops, and we can now put our honey drops into our beehizer by right clicking it and just shift clicking them or dragging them into that top slot there. Now we can analyse the bees that we've got, and we can see what they are. So that there, it says it's a common, but is it a pure common or is it a hybrid? Let's have a look. It is a pure common, very nice. And then let's check these two. Forest meadows, okay. And then let's check these guys. So each use takes up a bit of honey. Meadows, forest, and you can see all the different things it's got from the two different parents there. Well, from the princess and the drone that went to make it, and of course there's all these other stats that aren't that important just yet. But look at all that. Not that important just yet, but we'll get into them later. So what we can do is just check all these meadows, forest, meadows, common. Okay. So what I'm going to do now then is I'm going to put in the forest meadows with a meadows forest, and the meadows forest with forest meadows, and we'll see what they then bring us. Now this should die pretty quick, so I'll keep recording. And for now I'm going to keep the common drone to one side, because we can, if we get lucky and get a common princess, we've already got a common drone, so we can in fact we can put in there, because we're going to be having this one as our first apiary for getting common. So I'm trying to build up a stock of each of these. This is what I'm doing here. I'm building up a stock until we get up to Imperial and Industrious is what we're heading towards. So what we've got here, we've got 3 bees there, we've got 3 bees there, and it looks like we haven't got anything very smashing. Forest, meadows, forest, meadows, forest, meadows, pure meadows, okay, forest, meadows, meadows, common. Let's go with the forest, meadows, meadows, forest again, and then forest, meadows, forest. Okay, let's try that. Keep the meadows to one side just for now. Okay, that meadows common to one side just for now. So it's basically a case of doing this until you've got the bees that you want. This is, of course, very basic way of doing it. We are getting a bit of an extra chance. If you've just got pure vanilla forestry, then you don't even have this chance. You only get that 15%. So it really is a case of just slogging through it until you get the mutation that you want. It can get a little tedious. And if you watch my previous supplemental series on the season 1 of the 1.5.2 beta, I did almost sack it off because it was winding me up quite a lot. But with this extra, we should be alright. And forest meadows, forest meadows. Let's chuck them in with these pure meadows. Put them in with them unknown ones. They might be hybrids, but it don't really matter. And I'm going to keep doing this until I've got at least a pure common. The paths that we're going along, we are going for Industrious. So there's an Industrious princess. Industrious is diligent and unwary. A diligent, in fact, an unwary is a diligent and a cultivated. A diligent is a common and a cultivated. And a cultivated is a common and anything else. So in theory, we could put one of these meadows or forest princesses in with that common and get a cultivated if we get lucky. But I want to get a pure common first and come to that later. And we're not doing very well, are we? We're not doing very well at all. Meadows, forest, forest, meadows. Let's see if have we got any common in this. That's pure meadows, forest meadows, forest common. Let's go with the forest common with that this time. That forest common hybrid. Now there is all clever ways you can work out. It's called Punnett squares to work out your exact chance of getting the bee that you're after. If you wanted to learn out about that, check out a channel of a well-known YouTuber called Florestar, or of course Generic Bee. He's done quite a lot of good stuff on bees. Check out their channels to see a bit more of the science behind the actual breeding, because they'll do it a lot better than I could ever do it, so there's no point in me really trying. Forest meadows, let's go back to a pure attempt then, with pure forest and a pure meadows. So you get all these extra bees. Look at this, common, what we've got here, common, pure, nice, common, cultivated, so we'll put that to one side, and we can now put our common pure with our common pure drone, and now we've got commons on the go, so that's sorted. So next we want to be working towards a cultivated, so for that we're going to need another princess, because of course we just used one up. So I want to grab another meadows princess. I'm only using meadows and forest at the minute, but I don't have to just use them. And there we go, look at that, we've got common again here now. So what we've got here, pure common again, so it all happens at once. Common meadows. So meadows, where was that cultivated? Common cultivated. Let's go with, yeah. So meadows, common cultivated, see what we get, and then common princess with, let's go with a forest meadows hybrid. Should give us a chance of a cultivated. So a cultivated, similar chance, 12% chance of getting this. So see, they're common with either forest or meadows, so it's 12% chance either way with that. So we've got a 12% chance of getting what we're after. It's just a case of keep going until you get the ones you want. Now ideally what I'd end up with here is forest, meadows, common, cultivated, diligent, unweary, or noble. What's the one in the noble line? I forgot. Imperial is the line we're going for. Majestic, of course it is. Noble and majestic are the same as like diligent and unweary. They're both, the noble comes from the common cultivated. So common cultivated gives you a chance of either a noble or a diligent, which the land splits into two families, either imperial or industrious. And we need both of these for alveries. We need both for alveries, we need one for extra bees. The one we need for extra bees is the imperial, so that's the one you want to go for first. You need royal jelly to do anything with extra bees. Common cultivated, there we go. What are you? Common meadows. Put them two in together. No, let's not put them two in together. Let's put in common cultivated with that unknown one. Screw it. That was not very technical, was it? Cultivated common, cultivated meadows. Let's try them back in together then. Cultivated common, cultivated meadows. They may give us a pure cultivated. We shall see. So yeah, what you want to be going for is imperial. Imperial gives us. It's weird all that's happening. What do you give us, Imperial Queen? Come on, I've pressed you. Give me some action. That's what I was after. Gives us this stuff, royal jelly, and royal jelly, if we press you on that, you see that royal jelly goes into empty serum vials. So that's the thing we need for everything extra bee related, uses these empty serum vials. So we can't do anything until we get that. And of course the other thing we need it for is scented paneling for alvearies, which we also need pollen, which comes from the industrious. That's why we need imperial and industrious to really go anywhere else. So that's always the first two bee families you need to go for. This looks like it's reverted back, possibly. That hasn't gone well, has it? That has not gone well. So what have we got here? Where's the princess gone? Can't even find it. Meadows cultivated, cultivated meadows. So meadows cultivated meadows. Let's try them two. And the same again, I'm going to put my pure cultivated that we just got in there ready for when we get a cultivated princess to go with it. So yeah, and then the other thing I'm going to do is I don't want to start binning these bees. They're quite useful. So let's make our first extra bees machine, one that you don't need royal jelly for. Let's make a gene pool. So gene pool, there we go. It needs a genetic machine. It needs an apiarist machine. It also needs another machine that we haven't used yet either. That uses a sturdy case, so that's bronze, copper. Instead of glass, this uses 2 redstone. So it's pretty much the same as the other stuff, but it uses redstone there instead of glass for the machines that we've already made. So I need bronze. So I'm going to need 4 more bronze. 1, 2, 3. I'm going to need 6 copper. So I need a bit of tin. And my inventory is very full. 3 copper there, bit of tin gets me 4 more bronze. 8 bronze in a square gets me a sturdy casing. And then 2 redstone with that gets us this thing, the apiarist machine. Then the next thing we need to do with that, turn that into a genetic machine. So that we need a basic circuit board. So that's a carpenter with water. So we need to get water back into our carpenter. And our carpenter at the minute has got an absolute ton of creosote oil in. I started making impregnated casings just to use some of this creosote oil up. So I've made a bit of an issue there. Let me sort this out. I'm going to break the camera. I'm going to use all that creosote oil up by chucking a load more wood in there, getting loads of these impregnated casings for later on. We'll end up using these, so I can make a few stacks of these. It's not a big deal. And these will all go into alvery. It's 27 of each of these for an alvery later on, and we'll want a load of alveries, so it's all good. I'll get rid of that creosote oil, get some water in there, and we can make the next bit for our gene pool. Okay, I've thrown a load more wood in there, so while that's doing, let's carry on over here. And it looks like, oh shit, piss off you. Come here. Don't you blowing up my shits. Where did he come from? Must be out of the trees. He came from the trees, man. From the trees. Cultivated meadows. Cultivated meadows. Let's try and breed out that. Now, because I've got a cultivated pure there, I'm going to risk losing that cultivated pure to try and make sure this becomes a cultivated. Make sense? No queen, okay. And what was our other one that we had here? We had meadows common. Let's put that with that cultivated meadows, see what we get. So once we've got a cultivated, we want to be heading for either noble or diligent. So we'll start trying to get one of them. So for that we need another cultivated, and we need to start mixing that with commons. The cultivated and common will give us either diligent or noble. Common cultivated, okay, common meadows, okay, that's both good. You can see we've gone through over half a stack of there. I'll put the rest of them 17 in there. We've gone through over half a stack of honey up to now. So you go through this shit quick. It certainly burns through it. Oh, look at this. This looks good, doesn't it? This looks promising. Pure cultivated, there we go. And of course it does have stats that need to settle down. But iterations will settle that down, so put that in there. Now really what we could do, just before we try that, let's just have a quick look at what else we've got here. Cultivated meadows, okay. Pure cultivated, it's got a fast speed there, you see. So I'm going to take that one. That's cultivated meadows. That's got slowest. But the one that we actually put in there, that I kept to one side. What's that got? Where have I put it? Put it in here somewhere, aren't I? That one, was it? That's got slower. So what I'll do, I'm going to use the one that's got fast. I still might get the fast trait. We will be able to get these genetically later on, but hopefully by putting that one in and not that one, we may get the fast trait on our bee there, which is better, of course, because fast bees produce quicker. And let's keep going with this. Common noble. See, we've got a start of a noble there then. Let's put that in. Common noble with pure cultivated. So it could give us a noble, or it could give us, could even give us a majestic, because the noble could go the majestic there. So it's hard to say. And then of course, because we've moved the princess over here, we need to get another princess now. And I am going to cut the camera in in fact I'll wait for this, and then I'll cut camera again and I'll see how that's going over there. Cultivated. Check them. Cultivated noble. But you see the cultivated red each time the noble's passive on all of these. So we need a common. Cultivated common. So I'll put the cultivated noble in there with common cultivated. And it'll either go back to being a pure cultivated, or it could become a better noble. If the cultivated and the common mix together, if you get my meaning. Then I've got an inventory full of shit bees that I don't really want, but we'll start making us some bee DNA. And for that I'm going to need a tank, of course. So do I make another steel tank now? for BDNA, or do I wait? 4 million for BDNA seems a bit excessive, but suppose I could make that one BDNA instead of mob essence, because I ain't got no mob essence yet anyway. I wonder. Let's see what this one gives us. Cultivated. So still a cultivated noble there. And more cultivated drones. Pure. That fast speed though. I could always put that in there, that fast worker, to try and promote that fast speed the next time that cycles round. And because we're getting, because we're getting mixture of what's coming off these, we will start getting the odd bees in here as well. Because of course it'll only put in a bee that's got exact stats. So if this produces 2 bees and they've both got different stats, 2 drones that is, one will come in here and one will end up going over there. Right, what do we do here then? So cultivated noble. Let's try it with the common meadows. And right, I'll be back in a bit once we can make the next part of our gene pool. Here we go then, we've used up all the creosote. We haven't used up quite all of it. You see it still says creosote oil in there. There's a little bit in the bottom there that we can't quite, isn't quite enough to make anything. So the easiest way of getting rid of that is just by breaking it and putting it back. You could make a thing called a pipette, but it's just easy to break it, to be honest. Let's put that wood in there. Wood. I'll go in there, and in fact, all them impregnated casings can go in there for now as well. So now we need to get some water into that, and I'll just use a bucket, screw it. No, I won't, I'll use a liquid tesseract, it's easier. Plop. On it. Oops. Water, there we go. So I'll put some water in there, and then, if I remember right, it was redstone, like so, there we go. And that'll get us this thing. Start clearing my inventory. Now I've moved a lot of the bees that I know, there we go, there's that basic circuit board. A lot of the bees that I know I'm just going to turn into DNA down to there. These ones still might be useful for getting our next species, but I've got rid of all them other ones just for the time being. Let's clear that out. So 6 of them, one of them, and our APS machine. Get us as a genetic machine, and then the next thing we needed was some of these tanks. So them tanks are 8 glass each, so we need 32 glass, and I've only got 32 glass. I only got half the amount that I needed. Makes us 4 tanks. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1 more bit of glass, 2 bits of gold, bit of redstone. Genetic machine gets our first extra bees machine gene pool. Wonderful. And what we can do with the gene pool, easiest way to do this with the gene pool, to be honest, is going to be stick it there and borrow this empty portable tank, and just for now we can put that on there. And look at our gene pool, all these bees that we don't want, 3, 4, 5, 6, we can sling in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they'll turn into BDNA. Need power, of course, which is why I've put it on the power line there. They'll turn into BDNA. Wonderful. And I thought that might automatically fill up, but it isn't. Okay, never mind. Have to pump that water there then. Liquid up that water there. Makes sense. Let's got liquid ducts. Have liquid ducts will travel. There we go. And I'll leave it. So until it gets to crisis level, we've got nowhere else to put this stuff. We can just stick it in here just for now. Wrench. Leave it. There we go. So that's BDNA in that little portable tank. And once that's full, I'll work out somewhere else to put this stuff. But for now, that's good enough for now. So let's get rid of all the rest of these ones we don't want. And eventually, what I'll end up with is I'll probably just end up with an actual specific breeding pair with high fertility that I'll just use just for creating BDNA, and I'll create stacks at a time of them. And most of all my production bees will have low fertility, so they only get one drone back in each time, so they don't actually keep cycling. So go away, you. Oh, you sod. Where you gone? Right over there. Ah, screw him. That was another one, wasn't it? Get anyone everywhere. Piss off. Bound to attack me in a minute when I'm not ready for it. What we got here then? Meadows Noble. Meadows Cultivated. Common Noble. Yeah, this isn't going great. Meadows Noble. Cultivated Noble. Let's try that. Let's try that. Right, so I'm going to wrap up the video there. You get the gist. We've got Pure Forest collecting up to a stack of 64. We've got Pure Meadows on the way to collect up to a stack of 64. We've got Pure Common, but we haven't settled the species out yet, so we're not getting any in there yet. We're getting Pure Cultivated. Now, ideally, I should check this and see which one is a fast. That one's not. That one's got a fast there. That one's got fast there. So they're both. I'll leave them there. Screw it. So keep taking these, keep taking that stuff, and next time we do a B episode. Oh, look at that. What's that? We'll move on. Pure Noble, wonderful. Let's put him in there out of the way, and check what else we got. Meadows Cultivated, not great. Cultivated. Not great either. Let's turn that back into a Pure Cultivated then, I think. Let's try it with that. Meadows Common. So I'm just going to keep messing around with these. You know what I'm on my way to. I'm heading to try and get Pure Noble, Pure Diligent, and then after that Pure Unwary and Pure Majestic, and then after that Pure Industrious, Pure Imperial. So I probably won't do that on camera. I'll just keep working towards them occasionally, and once they're all done, I'll be looking to get a good stock of Royal Jelly and pollen up. And after that, we can start our first alveary, which when I'll probably do my second episode is when we've got Pure Imperial Industrious. So as always, I hope it was entertaining, and I hope it was all clear what I'm doing. If it wasn't clear, please let me know. Ask any questions, and I'll try and answer them to the best of my ability. And oh, I've got a Diligent, and well, I won't wrap up just yet. Diligent Noble. So that's a mix, isn't it? That's the two divergent paths that have both diverged off one thing there. Cultivated Noble, Cultivated, Common. So yeah, I'm just going to keep messing around like this until I've got some kind of decent mix. Cheers. Bye.